Hello and welcome to this episode of In the Clutches of the Cold. My name is John Godebert. I am the GM for this campaign. We rejoin the action as tensions run high on the castle and Borrowed and Sage settle things with swords.
Okay, I'm going to hold my action again if he makes any threatening move. I'm holding my action.
Okay.
Until he makes a move.
The commoners are going to back away slowly.
And I'm going to yell out, "Lower your sword, Borrowed." Do not make me put you down.
Oh, well. Guys, I'm having a really tough time right now.
Sage.
So, there's two things I can do. I can still turn invisible, walk around him, and get advantage, couldn't I, John?
Well, you are invisible at the moment.
I still get advantage, don't I?
Uh,
I don't
But-
believe so.
And I have to do an action to, obviously, to stop becoming invisible.
you don't have
You don't.
advantage.
No, that's what I don't want. I don't want advantage.
Yeah.
I want to become, like, normally, what I'm saying is that Sage does not play dirt.
Then use an attack.
Chuck a stone at
Just
him.
use one attack.
Just chuck a stone at him.
Well, I'm going to get my sword out. I'll get my sword out again.
Literally
And-
just attack the air and you'll break it.
I want to attack you, but I'm going to attack you. So 13.
Misses.
So imagine, I'm glad this has happened, because imagine if I just like blocked your swords. We're clashing sword by sword.
Yeah.
This is what a warrior should be, Borrows. And you can see the evil in Sage's eyes, just like bloodlust that you've never seen before. You've never seen him like this. He's calm and collective, and then goes for a natural 20, and then just goes in. And, like, this is a hack and slash right now, up like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Maul style. Just
That's
Doing me right now.
26.
Phew, okay.
How messed up is Borrowed looking right now?
Well, at the moment he's on 22 HP.
Steel.
Borrowed is a hunk of hit points, but he's got kind of a low AC.
this is a
Oh.
fight.
As soon as that hits me, make a dexterity saving throw.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm doing... I'm doing this.
As soon as your blade connects, hellfire
Wait,
rips down the sword,
Hellish rebuke.
Yeah.
and Borrowed just clicks a finger at you. And eventually the dice will roll themselves.
Eventually.
And I'll be
Any
awesome.
minute now.
And he's
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it.
We were just like waiting to see. Okay.
There we go.
So that is 33 points of damage.
33 to me.
Yes.
Yes, to you.
What is it? So it's like a. What is it? Like a
Hellfire just burns down your sword and blasts into you.
33 damage. Fudge.
No, don't do that.
Steel.
Right. What do we want to do here? Because.
Indeed.
Yes.
So I think what he's going to do.
Oh, I need to roll.
Check
Hold on, I need to make a concentration check on my first step. Ooh, that's a thing I gotta do.
Yes, that is a thing you got to do, and it's a DC 13.
Ah, I fail. First step's gone. That's fine.
So
That is
you So I just couldn't be when. So it's when I actually take attack. Do I want to attack or do I want to just dick with this whole situation, or do I just want to leave it alone and just pretty much stand between villagers and these two to make sure they go anywhere near them with anything? I don't know what to do. I am going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay.
And I am going to... Are both of them looking badly injured?
Yes.
Yeah. We're bleeding.
Is it like a... Would it be... At the untrained eye, would it be seen as a close call as to which one's going to go down?
Yes.
In which case, if they're determined to do this fight, I am going to hold a cure wounds for whoever goes down as soon as they go down.
Okay.
Hang on, I'll show you real quick.
Milo, are you back?
Swear to God, if this turns on, and
Tanny? I'm gonna go with a no for now. Borrowed.
The greatsword is going to shift into a halberd. And he's going to attack Sage.
Okay.
Do it.
Protect him.
Can I trigger my reaction?
Yes.
As
April
Borod
24. Work.
I'll let Borod, yeah.
One hit.
One hit.
What's the... Sorry, I don't have the weapon. I should really just keep a I don't have the player's handbook in front of me. What's the damage on a halberd again?
1d6 plus 2 slashing.
1 moment.
That's a spear you're thinking of.
Spear, yeah.
A
It's long. It's long.
halberd is 1d10.
Oh, it's a D10. Cool.
Oh shit.
Okay.
8 points of damage.
Right.
8 Dimagio.
I don't know why I put a reaction on Borod because this turns right before mine anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you get the reaction back.
It's a late reaction.
Okay. In which case, having seen this and having seen the what Sage has said and what Borod has said, I'm gonna have to stop this fight. And I'm sorry, guys, but one of them.
Where are you hitting?
It's gonna be here. Oh, sorry. It's gonna be here, which is
So-
enough to hit Borod and Sage, but miss Milo and Steel.
Okay. Sage and Borrowed, could you roll me some dexterity saves?
Yes, of course.
Sage backflip.
No. Hey, these are good rolls.
So Sage, that's 14 points of damage.
We should fight each other more often.
Oh, your fire goes through resistances, right?
Oh yes.
Oh,
Oh,
oh no.
Borrowed,
No.
any minute now, a dex check, I'm sure, is on its way.
I've clicked it, man. It's just, I'm at the mercy of my computer at this point. No, I fail. That's me out. Borrowed goes down.
How much HP have you got?
I got 22 HP.
22. I've got 27.
Well, you've dropped now to 13, Sage.
So as soon as Borrow drops,
Sage, you're down to 13. Michael,
Yes.
you're down to 13.
I'm down to 13. Yeah. What? I'm at 13, or I lose 13.
You are at 13. You
I'm
took
at
half
13,
the
yeah.
damage.
I did half the damage. Okay, right. Hang on. One sec. There we go. Okay, I'm on 13.
So, as soon as Borrowed goes down, you trigger your reaction and give him 16.
one of the spiders just jumps down, stop. Or a few, like two of my spiders, one starts stitching him up, and the other one just like goes up to his face and just sprays some smelling salts at his nose.
Are we still at initiative?
For now.
You're healing him.
And
I said as soon as one of you goes down, and therefore the fight is over, according to both of you, he's going to immediately heal whoever went down.
and is
So-
it
Okay,
is it my
fine.
is it my turn then?
It is your turn.
Well, my plan was to put both of them down.
Well, that failed
That
because I
failed.
done a backward flip.
Yes, you did. Do you know something?
Oi!
That's
I
the
didn't-
level 1 spell. The level 2. That should be enough. Is that enough?
Wait.
That's 8, 14. Yep.
I can do a dexterity save though. Can't
No,
I?
that just hits.
That's
Magic
just
missile you
hits.
cannot avoid, ever.
What was that?
Well-
3. Hang
Well,
on.
there's a way you can avoid it, but
There are certain ways, but in the current situation, nah.
That's
Unless
14
you-
damage.
Unless you have 2.
Oh, it was one more.
Sage falls down.
Now think about what you've done.
While keeping a boot on Burrow as he's on the floor,
I totally won that duel.
and then goes to Sage, and also does a heal.
12 points of healing.
And as they both wake up, Isolde stood there like angry mum and goes, "Are you quite finished now?"
I want to imagine that Luna was like mouth open, about to berate them, and then someone tried to
We've got another mouthy bitch.
Just to say, if the commoners hadn't been here, she might not have done any of that.
Who wants to say the first words? I mean, you went down first, Kiri. So do you want to say something?
trapped underneath a giant metal boot.
pretty much, it's boot on one boot on Borrowed, kind of almost grabbed Sage by his like armor and yanked him up and hit him. But holding Sage boot on Borrowed. Now what do we say?
Now, what do you say to each other?
The point has been proven. I don't need to say any words. It was a fun match.
Then shut up for once in your life and let me speak.
Sage tries to do like some sort of he tries to do like a bow, like go ahead, but obviously he's hung up
You
like that.
just slam his head into Steel's fist, because that would be hilarious.
Go ahead.
I need to check a spell slot for that. I need to work out what spell slot I use for that. 3. Oh, that's 11.
I use at least 1/3, and I use 2 seconds. So
Cool. Everything's fine. Ish. Kind of. Maybe.
kind of.
This proves nothing. This proves absolutely nothing. You still hurt. You still need to put up this facade of the mysterious and the powerful. and go after people who are only trying to help. Sage, this proves that you are a powerful person, that you can beat anyone around you. But that you are alone. You harbor this thing inside you that is just unnecessarily mean. You lack empathy. Steel, can I get up, please?
Removes the boot.
Can you put me down as well?
No, he's currently being talked to.
It's not like I'm gonna go anywhere.
Bard's gonna get up, he's gonna brush himself off, he's gonna wipe the blood from his mouth and say, "You're a good fighter, but you need to work on being a better person." And then Borrowed will
One of us both just crawls up to Borrowed and starts knitting his clothes together.
It's gonna. I could do it. It's fine. It's fine.
No,
He's gonna put your hand away and so you keep knitting.
it's hard to like give a dramatic speech when you've got little spiders stitching your clothes together.
It is a little bit, yeah.
I'd say,
Ooh.
just say to Tanny, massive speech. Massive speech. You need to hold his hands.
I'll say it out loud as well.
Let John, yeah, just let John.
Let John summarise the last few minutes.
For the benefit of everyone at home, Borrowed is simply going to take Milo's hand, and just lead him back to the bedroom to resume Howl's Moving Castle. And go.
That's well-known book.
Whilst you're just walking off, you're just ignoring what I'm saying and going, "Is that it? Is
And
that it?"
Isola turns to you and her eyes are ablaze. You do not want to push this any further.
This wasn't between any of you guys. I just wanted to prove to himself, and you should know that, Man of Steel, as a warrior, and I'm sure you as well, madam. I do not know the name of yet, because I don't know people's names yet. I don't use people's names. I just, Lady of Fire. That's what Lady of Fire, and then you got Bitch of Ice. So there you go, it kind of works.
Next time you want to prove who's got the bigger manhood, can you please do it where there are none of the people we're trying to rescue around?
Is it going to be one of them dispatches where it's just like all the crowd is like, "Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?"
The crowd is starting to break up now and go back downstairs.
Villagers, please go back to your dormitories. We'll be there in one day. Get ready to disembark. You will be no longer on this castle. Can I at least fling, get me off, get off of me now. Get off of me. Get off of me.
Steel is going to bring you almost face to face with him. Warriors rely on their allies to win a war.
Do you know what? I look at you as well. I mean, whatever your eyes are. My allies fails me.
Keep telling yourself that. Weak flesh, and I'm going to throw him as hard as I can.
Into the rocks. Literally into the rocks.
Just away.
You
Please
just
throw me in the rocks.
stumble backwards.
Can I
You went.
Do a strength
You
check.
went. Sorry, you went robot for me, so it was perfect.
I know. I was just about to say
It was
that.
brilliant. It was
Really?
It
brilliant.
was so cool.
That's Steel getting mad. His voice breaks.
Oh, Sean, please do a strength check. I just want to see how strong it is. And
check.
Wouldn't this
I
be
need to-
athletics for someone?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'll give you an
Your
athletics.
14.
that's good.
And
That's good.
screw it, I'm going to do Flash Genius. It's about a 5 to that, so 19.
See? Oh yeah, I'm stronger than this.
Oh yeah, this is how arm work. Sage, you just sail through the air and land hard on the ground.
And then just turns and walks away.
I just wipe my face and just lay there.
And you take how many hit points did you get back? You take 12 hit points.
I'm unconscious. Like, at the moment, I'm unconscious.
Just lie conscious on the floor.
So, do you know what? Fuck it. Leave me unconscious.
Sage.
You're not bleeding out. You're fine.
Yeah, no, I'm on like 1 hit point or something you can say. But, you know.
Sage. You just hear in your head. You don't need them.
I'm back.
I can help you.
Who are you? I've been hearing your thoughts. I've been hearing you in my thoughts. Wait, I have plural thoughts. Hang on.
Wait.
I've been hearing your voice. Who are you?
Just a concerned watcher. I can give you power.
I totally won that duel.
You don't need them.
Unfortunately, voice in my head. I do.
You
It's just
could be more.
we're not having this conversation. And I just go to sleep. But
Well, fuck you.
what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Seriously.
Freedom.
Where and how?
When the time is right, you will know.
Fair enough. Now, if you don't mind, I should now give myself a rest.
Yes. Rest.
Why can't I hear John go, rest, my little prince? Just rest. Stroking my head.
Sage,
Yeah.
you go to sleep.
Yay! Just there. I will couch up to that rock there. That is me. I am couched up.
Borrowed.
Yes.
You head back downstairs to the bedroom, bringing Milo with you. You
Who's
curl,
pretty much singed right now.
you curl back up on the bed, and Milo continues to read Howl's Moving Castle to you
Actually,
from the bath.
Mood.
Wrapping up your injuries.
pretty much.
Borrowed. You just hear in your head. You could be more.
But I like what I am.
I can give you what you need.
What are you offering?
Power to protect him, to save everyone.
And what do you want?
Freedom.
How?
Release me.
Apparently, I'm getting.
You just get
Water towel on me.
splashed.
No, I'm back. What? Hmm?
And the voice is
Okay.
gone.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry. Just fell asleep for a bit there.
He slaps on a big wet cloth on his face.
Okay. I'm awake. I promise.
Cleans up, trying to clean you up, even though the fact that he's fully singed himself and he's got burn marks all over himself. Mm.
I'm sorry, Milo. Just
I can't have him here. Look, I'm trying my best to keep it, easy in this team. But he's causing too much trouble.
I thought I could teach him a lesson.
Well, clearly he's not wanting to have lessons to be taught. We need to... He's just causing trouble. And I'm more worried that one of us is going to be officially killed if he stays around. The fact that you almost died. I never really valued a lot of people in my life. I never really wanted anyone, no one ever wanted me. But you kind of came around, and ever since then I've just changed my ways. So, I'm realizing that I know there was someone that was worth protecting. Worth, I know that he was worthy of my attention and love. So, and what Sage said really made me angry even more, because it felt that I never mattered. I never mattered when I was growing up. I still ain't. Kind of just looked down and just didn't know what else to say.
We'll bring Milo into like a big hug, so he's pretty much like wrapped his like almost his entire body around him. Yeah, a wet hug, exactly.
Because he's still in bath.
Yeah. Just sort of rest his chin on the top of Milo's head and just say, "You are worthy of so much love, and if Sage, if you think that Sage is going to continue to cause problems, then we should bring it up with Luna and the others. Just talk with them about it. I know I got hurt, and it's my fault for it, but I don't know. I didn't want to. I don't want to worry you.
Just promise me you won't do that ever again. We
Promise.
just, like, you've told me not to do the thing, and you promise me you won't do the same what I did.
I promise, Milo.
I'm sure Sage somewhat's got a reason for how he acts. I just want to understand why he's acting this way. He's hiding something, but I'm getting more concerned. I just don't want another team player to get hurt. We're on a mission right now. We're on a mission to find what's going on with the whole cult thing and Luna's somewhat of a daughter. We can't have distractions like this where someone is trying to just trying to annoy us or trying to cause trouble. At this point, we need to be more focused. We're going to have more dangers out there, and besides Sage himself.
You're right.
The last thing I want is someone to die over a big, stupid fight.
Yeah, that would be a pretty stupid way to go out, huh?
Mm.
Solar,
Yes.
could you roll me a perception check, please?
I will attempt to perceive. Did I perceive? I haven't seen it yet. No, I didn't perceive.
You do not perceive, but Luna, who is also on the
I'm still simmering from what just happened.
look, Solar, you look up, simmering from what's just happened, eyes glowing, and Luna's looking concerned at the wall over here.
Okay.
And she says, "Who wrote that?"
Who wrote what, Luna?
On the wall there, look.
I look at the wall.
And scrawled on the wall in hurried handwriting, "Release the chained one." Has been painted on the wall.
Was that there before?
I've not seen it before.
Right. Can I use my keen mind feat? Was anybody standing near that wall during the fight?
There were villagers milling around.
Specifically near that wall.
There were villagers milling around that wall.
Keen mind feat here. Perfect recall.
You didn't see anybody writing on the wall, but you do have a list of about 5 villagers that were stood near it.
That'll do. I will take that list.
Time to break thumbs until someone confesses.
Yay! Thumbs and kneecap.
One little piggy, 2 little piggy.
Oh no! I just burned them off. That's all.
Oh, even better. Start talking.
I say
you
to me, I think there were. I can remember 5 villagers who were stood in that area during the during what just happened. Would you like to come with me to try and get to the bottom of this?
Bella.
Luna?
Yes. I will come with you as soon as I'm not concentrating on other things as well.
I shall make a start then. Actually, who's not busy at the moment?
Well, Sage is currently sleeping.
Okay. I will go to the workshop, actually. I shall go to the forge and knock on the door and... Excuse me while I just make a note of these.
Good, because I will also have to do that.
Did you just pull them out of a name generator, or what?
Hush.
I will come to Sage and not Sage, Steel. I beg your pardon. Who wants to come? No one wants to come to Sage. I'll go to Steel. Do you have a moment?
What is it?
Something disturbing. Someone has written that phrase, which I can remember, but I can't remember right now. But I can remember perfectly because I have a clean
My
mind.
character sure as shit does.
Yes. Release the chains or something.
Release the chained one.
Release the chained one up on the tower where
where the fight
where that happened, and I believe it's one of the villagers who did it. I can remember 5 of them being there. I would appreciate it if you'd help me to discuss this with them.
Well, it's ominous what they wrote, evidently. I don't know what the chained one is, but I'm assuming it's something bad.
Indeed, that's my thoughts as well.
So, I will assist, puts down hammer and tongs.
So, I would like to don my 1940s detective suit and hat, and start pressing the button, which is Stout, but is actually get angry with him.
Grabs Maul and just walks away.
Okay. Who do you start with?
I'll go down the list, basically. Kildeath Forest Bluff.
Okay. You spend about 10 minutes or so tracking him down.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a decent description of him, it's fairly simple. He is the one that is missing an eye.
Ah, yes.
Oh, told us one eye, you know.
Which eye are you? Well, go to visit this person.
Yes.
I'm not going to beat around the bush. Do the words "release the chained one" mean anything to you?
You mean beyond their obvious meaning of release one who is chained?
Yes, it seems to be a very specific chained one.
Then no, I can't say they do.
So someone wrote those words up on the tower where that happened, and you were quite close to it, as I remember.
You think the fight and the words are connected?
I think someone took advantage of the fight to write the words, and I was wondering if you saw anything.
I did not. There was a fight. It was the most entertaining thing that hasn't been life-threatening in the last couple of days.
I'm glad you found it amusing, at least. It's gonna be that basically, yeah. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
You believe him.
Leave him. Have you heard anything about a chained one, or do you know anyone who may have said something along those lines?
He shakes his head. No.
Can we get into L.A. Noire jingle that tells us if we made the right decision or not?
No, not with that roll.
That Forest Bluff, we'll remember that.
We will. Thank you. We will come back if we have any further need of you.
Okay, do you know how long it is until we arrive at wherever it is you are taking us?
Keen mind feet, please.
You tell him exactly how long to the minute it's going to take.
Thank you. I love that. It's great.
He turns around. Okay, don't need to be pedantic about it.
Now, John, please tell the information to the NPC.
Okay, NPC.
Thank you. Let's see who's next on our list. Ron Spiritmore.
Ron Spiritmore. Okay, one moment. Ron Spiritmore. You eventually find Ron Spiritmore, who is very fat.
Hello, Spiritmore. You're incredibly fat.
Well, you're rather rude, aren't you?
Still, do we have a weight limit on this castle?
Well, fuck the both of you.
I
I'm
have
sorry,
this. I have this Twinkie. If you can tell me.
Jesus!
Give me. Recent events have set us on edge. I was wondering if you saw anything suspicious during the fight.
Other than the fight.
Other than the fight and the giant
fight.
wall of fire
Yes.
Yes, that was some fireworks, wasn't it?
and the giant fireball and the magic missile.
Oh, you're too kind. Yes. Did you notice anything else during the fight? Does Tan actually know how the fight ended?
No, I didn't see anything, I just remembered.
Okay. How long ago has it been since the fight?
Been about half an hour or so.
Did the paint look wet?
The paint looked fresh.
Okay. I wish to look at I wish to glance down at his hands to see if there got any paint covering on them.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, come on.
You don't see any paint.
But
Would no. He just knows something's been written. He doesn't know what with. So steel will not look.
yes. Did you see anybody with any paint or some similar?
Well, I mean, the only one around here who might have any paint was the decorator.
And
What was his name?
What is the name of the decorator? You've got a choice of 3, hopefully.
Miknin?
Ah. Oh, the decorator, Miknin. Thank you. I will go and speak to him.
Graham. That was it.
Graham Miknin.
Graham Mickman.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for saving us and putting on that fine entertainment. The Wall of Fire was amazing.
Yes, please, we're not expecting to make a habit of it, I'm afraid. In case you're interested, it's X number of hours, Y number of minutes until we reach our destination.
Excellent. I know exactly what that means.
Fantastic.
Lol.
I would like to go and speak to Graham Miknin.
Follows.
Okay, Graham Miknin is...
Any insulting information you want us to tell as well?
Or 1 minute. Really? Really random NPC generator? Okay.
He's got a remarkably large nose.
Graham Miknin is an ugly human.
Damn.
I want to imagine we come at him while he's like looking at something and he's got his back to us and he turns around and he's like, "Ah!"
Oh no.
Yes?
Mr. Miknin, is that your name?
Yes, that is my name.
I see, and you are a human.
I am indeed a human.
He is? I mean, yes, of course he is.
Wow.
I was wondering. If during the recent event, you saw anything suspicious.
Do you mean other than that silly little green
Yes,
man
other than the
fighting?
slide with the-
Okay.
Other than that, yes.
Despite not having a bridge of a nose, still kind of massages between eyes.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what Tanny's other books about flying castles are.
Oh boy, there's a song about it, Tanny.
Slappy stuff.
So yes, did you see anything suspicious during the fight?
No.
Are you sure? Are you very sure? Are you sure about that? I know there's a lot going on, but tell me, what's going on? Okay. Tell me, did you bring any paint with you on board the castle?
Yes, I'm a decorator. It's
see.
my trade.
Yes, and no one's been able to tamper with the paint at all. I mean,
Well, I mean, there's limited amounts of privacy in this place. It's not really designed for an entire town to move in.
This is true, yes, of course, yes. And are you sure? Do you have all your paints with you? Is it all your paints here and accounted for?
Well, I know it's in the room where I'm staying. I'm not carrying it around unless you wish to pay me to decorate it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were at his room.
No, I'm just in the hallway somewhere.
Very well, very well. I wonder if you could do me a kindness. Could you go back and when you get back to your room, could you see if any of your paint is missing and what colour it is? What colour was it?
It was black.
It was black. See if any paint is missing and what colour, if there is, what colour it is. Check for hands, please.
Sorry, are you checking his hands or?
Oh, either me or Steel can check his hands. Actually, no. Yeah.
Okay. Is that investigation or perception? If I'm being...
Perception.
Perception.
Unless you are asking him.
16.
You know, Solar, if you really check the hand creases, you might have something flash of genius.
As Solar, just as he starts to tuck his hands into his pockets to walk away, you spot black paint on his hands.
Is that enough to tell me if it's fresh black paint or if it's been there for a while?
It looks fresh.
I see. No, actually, I would like to follow him discreetly.
Okay.
As he goes back to his room, I'd like to follow him discreetly.
Roll me a stealth check.
Why am I discreet? I live in this castle.
I can go where the fuck I like.
He walks back to his room.
Okay.
You follow him back to the room that has been assigned to him and about 20 other members of Beliard.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to check his pack. And he pulls something out of it.
Ooh.
Roll me a perception check.
Ah, boy. Come on, big man. Big numbers, no money's. That'll do.
You see that he has pulled a twisted, curved dagger from his bag.
Steel.
Comes that's beckoning.
I
Still
think.
holding ball, by the way.
Yes, I think that maul is about to see some use. We have a passenger with a curved dagger on board, and it's the man we just spoke to.
Don't immediately do it.
I just starts behind him, tapping it.
He attempts to, as you approach, because I'm assuming not stealthily.
Oh no, I'm barreling straight towards. It's like a fucking freight train of pain coming at him.
He attempts to hide said dagger.
We just saw it.
I could either try to just basically knock him out with said maul, or I could just grab him.
Okay, I don't have a map or a token prepared for this, but that's the dice roller, John. Open the initiative tracker.
Okay. This is me and Steel and Mr. Commoner, isn't it? $12. I'm doing well on initiative.
I don't have any commoners on the field to select. One moment. They disbanded too well. Far too well. Not that I think it matters, as he rolled a 10. So Steel,
Yes.
He turns round to see you coming and tucks it behind his back badly.
In which case, I am going to. Do I just want to smack him, or do I want to try and restrain him? It's a lot easier to restrain him if he's unconscious.
It is that, yes.
So, fuck it. 27!
Smacky boo!
That'll hit.
Do you even need to roll?
16 bludgeoning damage.
That's
Okay. That doesn't kill him.
I'm not trying to kill him. This is to subdue.
22 will hit.
In brackets, subdue.
It's like bash him over the head into the ground.
A little arcane jolt for it as well.
And he just zaps across the room and...
All the while, Steel is just going, stop resisting! Stop resisting!
Well, I can't argue that it's not effective. Let's bring him somewhere quiet, shall we?
Grab him by the back of his collar and just drags him.
He looks around at everybody else and goes, go back to what you were doing. Don't worry about this.
And also grabs dagger to make sure it's not like.
Yes, we need that. Yeah. Please go back to your business. Just a little internal matter. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm loving this.
Okay.
I'm just imagining the other people in the room just seeing the decorator come in, followed by a massive metal man who just
I move out the fucking corner.
just clobbers him and drags him out.
Oh boy. Hopefully nobody else heard any of that. People reading books to each other at the moment.
Okay. You drag the unconscious form of Graham Mirkin away. Miknin. What do you do with him?
I don't. We find a quiet corner of the castle and begin interrogation. I believe.
I mean, there's the forge. There's
Oh, the forge would be lovely. Lots of hot
Lots
metal
of-
implements.
lots
That'd be
of
great.
hot implements that could
Hot
be used.
metal implements. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be great.
So yeah, drags him there. Ties him to a
Not
chair.
that I require hot implements to do this, but they add to psychological value.
Well, you can just hold the emblems and make them hot. It's fine.
It's great. Yes.
Okay. You tie Graham Miknin to a chair. Are you waiting for him to wake up, or...
I'm just gonna keep tapping him on the cheek, and then once he starts to stir, I just really just smack him.
Okay. It takes a couple of hours for him to wake up.
While he's doing that, can we investigate the dagger that he had?
Yes. Roll me an investigation check on it.
I sure intend to do that. My investigation is not as good. 14.
Okay. It is...
I will attempt investigating too.
Fair. No, let him have it. That's fair.
You start looking at the dagger, Asola, and you go, yes, this is sharp.
It's a dagger. It's very.
You put this end in the other person.
And it tends to make them dead.
You insert it into people. It sounds familiar to me. That does. I don't quite know why.
It seems to strike a chord.
Steel, you take it, and you sort of brush the surface of it. And engraved in the surface is the symbol of a set of scales weighted on one side.
Sorry, can I just say it? When Steel takes it, I'm just imagining who looks at him, suddenly all these lenses and scopes and things just start coming out, just like all peering at this thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zoom and enhance.
Points out the symbol that we have seen a fair bit. I'm imagining it's that same symbol.
It's the same symbol, yes.
Keen mind. It's that symbol.
It's that symbol.
It is that symbol.
Yeah,
Symbol and everything.
You've seen it in a couple of places now.
sounds like it's fucking following us.
Yes. So, and by this time, is our guest awake?
No, it takes a couple of hours for him to regain consciousness, unless you do something to give him some hit points back.
Oh, for God's sake, fine. But instead, rather than the nice little knitting wounds together and smelling salts, this particular spider is just going to just like crawl up to his face and just like do like a defibrillator. Cure wounds level 1. He's not getting anything more than that. 11.
He jolts awake and tries to instantly like move and realizes he can't.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I would like to hold the dagger in front of him and goes, I take it this belongs to you?
You found it on me, yes?
Would you care to tell us about it?
It's a dagger. You stick it in someone you don't like very much.
Yes, I gathered that much. But what about the symbol on it?
It's a maker's mark.
It's not a maker's mark, is it?
Roll me insight.
Oh, I imagine Steele has told me about this symbol that we've seen before.
I pointed out the symbol, so
That.
It is not a maker's mark.
It's not a maker's mark.
And,
I would like
and
to.
he
I would like
knows
to
it's not a maker's mark.
I'm going to press the button called lie. Don't lie to me. You've seen what I and my friend here are capable of.
And I have seen what he is capable of, and I fear him a lot more than you.
Ah, him.
Just
Well,
just glowering over the top of.
at the very least, you can tell us who he is. Other than the chained one, we have not had the pleasure. Other than just the chained one.
You will know his glory.
We will know his name.
Roll me perception checks.
Perception checks.
22.
15.
Damn it.
Just.
Wow.
Essela,
Yes.
you just notice that he is finishing the hand gestures for a spell.
Do I have time to react? Okay, 2 questions, and it's up to you. Do I recognize the hand gestures, and do I have time to react?
Roll me an Arcana.
Arcana!
You don't recognize the spell. It's not a spell that you can cast. Oh, actually, let me double check that.
Hold on, I just quickly check his spell list. No, it's not something you can cast.
I don't think it's a spell that you can cast, because I don't think it's a sorcerer's spell.
My companion here, would you be able to? No,
He didn't see it.
you didn't see it, and it's too quick. It'll be too quick.
No, it is not a spell that you can cast.
Okay. Do I have a chance to react to it?
Yes.
I am going to Spirit Investiture of Flame. I suggest you stop that right now.
He touches his hand to his own leg.
Blows his leg.
And takes a really bad roll on the dice, but collapses into unconsciousness.
Just unconsciousness.
I mean, technically he's dead, because he's an NPC.
and he has a single amount of hit points. As I'm not trying to metagame or anything, but I do know this. Okay, so he's unconscious.
You just see a flash of necrotic energy rush through his body.
If you have a diamond worth 300 gold, I can get him up right away.
If you have got diamond.
We have like 1 minute.
If it's a level 6 spell, we have that. If it's a level 6 spell, we have the component for it.
It's a level 3 spell.
We have we must have that component because we've got the room that's got all components up to level 6, if I remember rightly.
Yes, but do you have it about your person?
Yeah, can we get there within?
Because you need to get there and back within a minute.
You gotta try and find me.
What?
I'm gonna. It's pretty,
I'm
pretty sure it's safe to say we probably don't.
No. That's disappointing. And we can't do anything. We can't save him.
You know, to try and cure wounds, but I'm assuming that he's literally killed himself. So yeah.
Yes, he probably has. That's
He's taken the cyanide capsule, basically.
Rip.
You would both recognize the effect of the spell at this point as an inflict wounds.
To be honest, the only things I could have done were to actually kill him myself. So
I could have sped him along.
at least this way, there's a body for us to investigate. I'd like to investigate the body, please.
Yep. Rifle through his pocket.
It's a dead human.
Rip.
I'm untying him from the chair. I'm grabbing him by his ankles. I'm shaking him upside down to get everything out of his pockets.
I would like to go back to his room, and I saw which one was his pack, didn't I?
Yes.
I would like to investigate his pack, please.
Well, 1 second. Sean,
Yes.
you get 14 gold pieces worth of
Nice.
various coinage
Nice.
14 gold pieces.
as you shake him by the ankles and shake all the money out of his pocket.
Oh, my ankles.
Like
Oh,
grabs it all.
here's a
My
question.
ankles.
Here's a question. Would either of us believe that to be a reasonable amount for him to have about his person, or is it something obviously?
Being a decorator in a village, does that seem too much?
It seems like that might be a little bit too much. You also notice, Steel, as you hold him upside down, he is wearing leather armor.
Not normal wear for decorator.
No. I would like to investigate his pack.
Okay.
Investigate.
Proceeds to take the leather armor off to add to our armory.
I proceed to take the bag and upend it on the floor.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
Rip.
You found a bag.
That's a bag.
It's
That's a
got
Bag.
It's got a collection of paint and clothes in it, and as you upend it, some paperwork falls out, and then some paints just over the top of it.
Did it fall out face down or face up?
It fell out face down, and has just now been covered with paint. And in the bag is a mind witness.
A mind witness?
Mind witness.
I pick up the I hurriedly pick up the paper and try to see if there's anything I can do to save it.
You manage to read 2 words on the paper.
Mind and witness.
Riverguard Keep.
Well, this seems like a pointer to our next destination. After we've dropped these people off, maybe we can ask the knight about Riverguard Keep.
And then the paint just slowly over the words.
Oh gosh, I did something wrong.
Just out of interest, do you have a picture of the symbol?
No, but
Describe
I
it
will
again.
get one.
Can you describe it again?
It is a pair of scales, but weighted on the left-hand side.
Okay. Can we do
So, basically, picture Kalemvor's holy symbol,
I was about to say, does it sound like Kalemvor's?
but with the left-hand scale weighted down, and the right-hand scale higher.
I will take the dagger and wrap it in a handkerchief and resolve to call a meeting at the earliest opportunity.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a lot we can do until we get to Summit Hall, and I will rest on it for a moment, for the time being.
Okay.
Sage
And
just,
just-
Steel proceeds to wonder what he's going to do with the body in the forge, but
Forge needs fuel.
It's not worthy of having a really cool skull with gold in it.
No, but Forge
Burn
does need fuel.
Forge does need fuel. But do I want it stinking of evil cultist dude?
We'll throw it off the.
I could just throw it off the edge, but then I might need him.
Does Steel have a sense of smell?
I think technically they do have all the senses. It's
Can
just-
he choose to turn it off?
Ooh.
Oh.
that
Yeah.
would be- I mean, technically, he doesn't need to breathe, so technically.
Yes, technically he can turn it off.
Anybody just comes in and goes, "What
Everyone
is
goes,
that?"
Why is it stinking
Guy
burning
here.
flesh in here? What?
Okay.
Let me just retake my alignment. I am. I'm Chaotic Good.
What is my alignment?
I hope nobody finds out about that.
Ooh.
Okay, so you guys spend the rest of the day Milo reading to Borrowed, possibly at some point getting dressed, but that's really up to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lay there naked. No.
It's fine. It's what you and your boyfriend do in the bedroom is
That's what you want to do, yeah.
I think I took off the binder and just chill.
Mm.
you spend the rest of the day traveling to Summit Hall, and eventually, as night falls and sun rises, you go about the menial tasks of managing the castle and setting the course and cooking food for a village, with the great help of most of the people of the village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not using most of the people of the village, are you?
No.
Did you get the message? Okay. Yeah.
Ooh. Yes, I just read it.
And you eventually land at Summit Hall. And you can see on the front of the castle of Summit Hall a great selection of knights with their crossbows loaded, aiming at the castle as you approach. And my wrist just clicked.
I heard that.
I heard that as well. That was loud.
Ah, well, there we go. So yeah, there's a great force of shining Order of the Gauntlet knights aiming their crossbows up at you. How do you approach How do you approach Summit Hall?
We park it right outside.
We should
Show
send
no-
a lone person in first before we besiege
I-
them.
I can do that.
Is that a good idea?
Borrowed approaches, suddenly they add cannons and...
They invent cannons and they add cannons.
We have cannons.
Okay.
They have cannon.
Okay.
We have black powder weaponry
Oh. Oh yeah.
in certain places.
In certain places.
The Order of the Gauntlet definitely has some.
Who would like to go out there?
I'll go. I'll do it. I'd like to stretch the fact that Borrowed can actually speak instead of being an incredible magical fighter sometimes.
Excuse me, what?
Exactly. Borrowed is going to do the really fun reckless thing, and because I assume we've had a long rest by this point,
Yes.
Yeah.
which means I'm back to full health.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yay!
Yay! All my spell slots are back. Yay!
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not apologising for this one, by the way. Someone was completely.
Oh, wrong one.
As is my flash of genius and the arcane jolt.
Bard's gonna do the really fun thing, and if we haven't landed the castle already, he's going to. No, he'll go down in style. He'll get one of the griffins and just sort of like fly down.
We're trying to get them not to shoot at us.
Like fly down. Like don't. I'm not gonna land in the thing. I'm gonna land like a little ways away from it before like walking up.
Would you take one of the villagers with you, like the village elder or something with you?
Right,
No.
You got them as hostage.
Not as hostage.
Have
This is
a,
I'm just gonna do this.
have a white flag.
As you approach, most of the crossbows stay aimed at the castle, but you see 3 of them, including the one of the leader, tracks you down on the griffin. And Milo, who apparently is following you.
Okay.
He's close. He's not close. He's quite close by, but he's keeping his distance just in case.
Okay.
Who goes there?
Hello. Now, I understand this seems to be like a very stressful situation, and that castle looks very, very hostile. But I promise you, if my name isn't Borrowed, that
Is it?
Is it borrowed?
it is Borrowed. My name is Borrowed.
Well
I've
met.
been taking some. Well met. I am representing everyone who lives on that castle. Currently.
This isn't an attack from the Cloud Giants, then.
No.
No.
No. No. It took quite a bit to actually clear the castle of Cloud Giants. So I hear. No, we come from... Where do we come from? We're coming from...
Came from
Beliard.
Beliard.
Beliard. Thank you. We're coming from Beliard as it was recently under attack, and we evacuated the townsfolk, and we're hoping you would be kind enough to take them in.
The knight at the head of the group just kind of waves a hand down the line, and all of the crossbows just... Open the gates, let them in.
Fantastic. We'll land a little bit away and have them...
You are the castle we've heard about, then.
Yes, that would be us. May I present Castle Briar? At least I think that's what it's called.
Excellent. When you have done letting Beliard...
Letting the entirety of Beliard out.
letting the entirety of Beliard into our care, I would have words with you.
Sure. And Bard would get back up on the griffin and get onto the griffin.
And anyone else
Ride.
in your number who cares to listen.
Of course, yes. You'll get all... 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of us? 6 of us? Is there 6 of us? 7? Hold on. Me, Milo, Sage, Steel.
Six is right, yes.
6. Okay, it's the 6 of us. Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm joking.
No, it's an even funny one. It's an even funnier one. Once Bard gets back up and we sort of collect all the villagers together, Bard's just going to open a portal. Because he can do that now. And I love the fact that he can just open portals.
Borrowed starts spinning a hand around, and a giant sparking oval in the sky just opens.
It's more like on the pathway, and then just like where everyone can just sort of walk through, and be fine.
You take the villagers of Beliard and deposit them in Summit Hall, and they start being taken care of. I can words.
Not words either. You see that already, by the way, Bard.
So he's just gonna be thrown.
Is that what Milo says?
Quietly.
Quietly.
It's like kind of a mumble. You have to really pay attention to what he says.
I'm still on the floor, to be honest. I'm still sleeping.
Snore. Wait, you're not gone to bed. You're on the floor in the middle of the courtyard.
Yeah, I'm still. I had a long rest.
Which is not a very comfortable one.
Not a very comfortable one, yeah.
I could have just turned into a pig right there and then. But...
No one's turning me
You
into a pig.
slumbering as a
Bitch,
pig.
I will turn you into a pig.
Just wait until Milo gets true polymorph.
Oh,
Oh.
you could turn him into a chair at that point.
Then perma pig.
Oh, I'm a pig.
And at this point, with the entirety of Beliard offloaded and you going to meet the knight leaders of Summit Hall, I'm going to call a close to the session.
Oh, it's a bit of an early one.
Little bit early,
I
but
feel like I've been here for 5 minutes. I think it's because my PC decided to crash right in front of me.
yeah. A little bit early this week, but we've also... I've got to a point where I want to have a certain other person around for the storyline to continue. Who isn't here this week.
Oh.
Okay.
You can probably work that out
You'll
from
probably guess who it is.
from people who are normally here who aren't.
Is it borrowed?
Yes. Yeah, Borrowed needs to be here for this.
What?
Damn him and him not being here.
Dude.
Anyway, all that remains for me to say is to look at the camera and say thank you guys in the chat so much for watching. We've had a great time playing D&D tonight. This was a lot of fun for me.
Some of us.
For those of us who knew what was happening. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with more of this. In the meantime, we have the following coming up. Tomorrow night, I am dealing with the fact that the lemons and limes on our orchard in Minecraft aren't growing quickly enough. And we're going to work out a way to make a machine that gives us lemons. It's not listed on the schedule yet, but on Tuesday night, Sean, myself, and a crew of pirates are going to be chasing down a new tall tale.
Ooh.
In possibly what is going to be a new recurring Tuesday night series of Tall Tale Tuesdays. Not at all that we're trying to find things that begin with T to make Tuesday night streams. On Wednesday this week, I think from my scheduling, and I need to talk to a couple of people about this, I think it should be Civ 5, if people are up for that. But I haven't actually spoken to anybody who plays Civ 5 with me yet. I meant to do that today and forgot. That was one of the things on my to-do list.
Rude.
So we'll check in for that. But on Friday, Jeff.
Yes, Princes of the Apocalypse is back on Friday, and today the team is the intention is the team goes to Feathergale Spire to uncover, investigate rumours of cult activity there.
Tis a silly place.
I'm sure it's all going to be fine. Yes.
And then on Wednesday, the following week, we have the continuation of the Adventures of the Golden Tooth. as Calderax, Malzere, Pyrolis, and How. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to not confuse Malzere and Calderax's names anymore? Damn it, How! Head back into the Underdark to follow the way down river and find the cause of the madness that is infecting Elven Tree. So stay tuned for that. And more other streams that aren't listed there. For now, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.
Adios.
Toodle-wise.